What's going on, Jerome's? It was an amazing weekend of conference championship football. Vikings not in it, not even in the AFC. Like, we couldn't switch conferences, but it is what it is. And also, I have a pimple on the bridge of my nose, which just makes me look like an a-hole. Well, this entire face makes me look like an a-hole, but what can you do? But Bengals and Joey Burrow against the Rams and Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. Hey, apparently it was the Lions. Who knew? The Rams trading in draft picks for the next 10 years, just going all in. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Just wait until they run to the buzzsaw that is Riley Reef and stuff. But going through the games, yeah, Bengals, Chiefs, where, man, the Chiefs, they had a layup. They had an absolute layup. They were up 21-3. They had a chance before halftime to go up 28-10. But Eli Apple actually made a play, which is just kind of insane. And we said this in our prediction video. I thought that the Bengals would hang around. And if they could weather the initial storm of Mahomes and Kelsey and Tyreek and the Chiefs' Arrowhead Stadium home field advantage, they would have a chance. And they did. In the second half, they clawed their way back in. They kept Casey's offense in check. And, man, you do have to respect what Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor, the 18-year-old boy, what they did in Cincinnati. 2 years ago, they had the number one overall pick. It was Joe Burrow. They were 4-11-1. And now 2 years later, wow, they're in the Super Bowl, man. It's kind of crazy. And even as a Vikings fan, like, it's very easy to root for the Bengals. Plus, doing the NFL math, because the Vikings lost to the Bengals week 1, even though Dalvin fumbled, even though he was clearly down, and all the Bengals defenders were like, oh, he fumbled. And the refs called it on the field because the Bengals were like, oh, we have the ball. Not that I'm still bitter. But if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, that means the Vikings are the second best team in the league. I mean, that's just how things work. What can you do? But, I mean, Mahomes had himself just a vintage performance yet again. Was absolutely insane in the first half, but they just couldn't get anything going in the second half. And props to the Bengals defense, just getting things done. And when it got to overtime, all the people who pissed and moaned about overtime rules, it comes down to a coin toss, even though in the playoffs, small sample size, sure, but overall, not so much. But I knew when the Chiefs won the coin toss, they weren't going to win. I just felt like karmic justice was just going to swing the other way, where, winning 2 coin flips in a row, if you ever play poker, that's hard to do. But Mahomes just throwing that pick, because as we've said, you can take care of a business in overtime, or you can take care of business in regulation, and you can also play defense in overtime. And yeah, the defense is gassed because they're on the field all the time, blah, blah, blah. So you can still make a play. Von Bell, I can cheer for Von Bell now because he's not a stupid saint anymore. Banking that big-time play. Joey Burrow getting down the field again. Evan McPherson, somebody told me. 5th-round pick on a kicker. That actually works out. Who knew? I mean, that could have been us and Daniel Carlson, but Zimmer was playing. It's rough, man. But, I mean, the Chiefs, they could have done something that, only 2 other teams had done before. I forget which ones off the top of my head. It was the Bills. I think it was the Dolphins, right? Yeah, 3 straight Super Bowl appearances. They couldn't get it done. And now, sort of back to the drawing board. I mean, they're still going to be fine. I mean, Andy Reid is still a stud. Mahomes and Kelsey and Tyreek. I mean, Chris Jones at Honey Badger, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Plus that great offensive line, sure. But just going through, man, Jerick McKinnon is legit. Now, I'm not saying that the Vikings should have held on to him, because obviously with Dalvin, but I mean, he's been pretty solid. Also, you seen what Cordero did around the league this year? Yeah. And Jamar Chase, some big time plays. Also, T. Higgins. I love me some T. Higgins, and he certainly was overshadowed with the emergence of Jamar Chase. But Higgins last year, I mean, he was up there with Justin Jefferson in terms of great rookie wide receivers. So I think Higgins, Chase, and Boyd long-term, that's a great trio of wide receivers. Also, hey, Riley Reef going to the Super Bowl. Hey, number of Super Bowls that Joe Burrow has gone to without Riley Reef. 0. Goose egg. D'Angelo Russell. And because our nation is so divided right now, I love and adore that we can all unite behind just not liking Jackson Mahomes. And also Mahomes' fiance. I mean, they're both extremely annoying, and I'm glad that they won't be in the City of Angels popping bottles and doing TikTok dances. So yeah, screw them. But yeah, I'm pumped for Bengals fans. Get it on, man. Northern Kentucky, rise up. So you have the Niners and the Rams, where We said this was going to happen. Even though the Rams did everything possible to restrict Niners fans from getting into the game, that place was 80% red. And man, when the Rams were on offense, like, I wonder if the Rams had to go to a silent count because it was loud, especially late in the game. But Niners, had that 17-7 lead and just simply could not hang on in the final quarter. Now, this was the matchup of Vikings head coaching candidates as well, DeMeco Ryans as well as Kevin O'Connell on the Rams, where even though DeMeco Ryans, his defense did not do great at times. I mean, sure, holding the Rams to 20 points, but on third down, the Rams, 11 of 18 on third down. They made big plays in high leverage spots, but I mean, got to respect what DeMeco Ryans has done in his 1 year as defensive coordinator after taking over from Rob Saleh, where shutting down the Cowboys, number one scoring offense in the NFL, and then shutting down the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers in their stadium, Cowboys in their stadium too, and then giving the Rams a hell of a game too, where if it doesn't work out with Harbaugh, I absolutely love and adore DeMeco Ryans. I do. And Kevin O'Connell, it's very hard to parse out what he does and what is Sean McVay, but I did think that the Rams made a severe strategic error where they were burnt. They were out of timeouts and had no challenges with, 10, 11 minutes left in the game? It was pretty ridiculous, but they lucked out. The Niners folded at the end. Jimmy G just couldn't do anything. Aaron Donald is a freaking freak. So, yeah, that's it. And respect to also Raheem Morris could potentially still be in the Vikings mix, even though it hasn't been talked about that he would be in for a second interview. But the Niners wanted to run the ball, and they shut him down. 20 carries, 50 yards. It's pretty insane. Now, when it comes to head coaching interviews, so they obviously can talk to DeMeco Ryans because the Niners are out. And with the Rams, since they've had first interviews with Raheem Morris and Kevin O'Connell, they can actually talk to them for a second interview in the break before the Super Bowl. Now, teams like the Jaguars, who did not interview Kevin O'Connell in the time allotted in the first in the first period where it was allowed, they can't talk to O'Connell because that would be the first interview. So they can't just be like, hey, we missed out on Eberflus, so Kevin O'Connell, KOC, come down to the Duval. No, they can't do that. So it's an interesting spot because, Harbaugh, Vikings, does it seem like that's legit? I think it's certainly more legit than the 1% chance we gave it a couple days ago. We talked about in an earlier video. I'm not buying into the Harbaugh to the Dolphins hype at all. Like until Schefter or Pelissero or someone legit brings some hard reporting as opposed to just speculation through second and third hand sources. Yeah. But I love DeMeco Ryans. I love Kevin O'Connell. I understand Raheem Morris. I would love him as well. Mike McDaniel is suddenly free. Although, Mike McDaniel as the OC and former run game coordinator of the Niners, 50 yards, 20 carries. Nah. And not so much there. But I can tell you what, it was going to be a fun Super Bowl either way. Actually, it would have been less fun with Jimmy G. I don't understand it, man. Like, what quarterback has more apologists than Jimmy G? Like, I don't understand it. And I think it's due to him being handsome. Like, this is conspiracy theory, big brain stuff again. But if Jimmy G was ugly as sin, or if he looked like me, no, they would call him the bottom 10 starting quarterback in the league like he is. But I just don't get it, man. But, yeah, jumping Joe Burrow, Aaron Donald, Bengals-Rams, getting it on. Bengals trying to win their first Super Bowl. Rams trying to get it done again. And also, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Super Bowl halftime show. Let's go, man. Football's great. But hopefully the Vikings will be part of this magic carpet ride next season. Who's good? Who's the head coach going to be? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Oh, by the way, I didn't say who I bet on, but I did take the points in both of the games. So I won those, and also I took the Bengals money line. So, and this game, it opened up Bengals +4. I think that's going to get bet down to 3, maybe even 2.5 by kickoff. And also I'm taking the Bengals money line because I believe in jumping Joe Burrow. I might get a Burrow tattoo. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the world's tiniest Packer stock on the wall and get a tattoo of Joe Burrow right on the chest. So when I wear the deep V, you can see like Joey B just like peeking out like, what up? With the necklace. But your thoughts are thoughts. Wrapping up conference championship weekend. Take a look ahead at the Super Bowl and also the Vikings head coaching stuff. sure. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.